But we're going to share some of our suck at lists, right? I don't know if that's the right list to say. But okay, so I'll go first.
Or not top 10.
Or not top 10. One of the things that's really hard for me is patience. I am so impatient.
Oh, Jesus. For me, one of the things is like being indecisive. Like I struggle with that.
All right, here's my next one. So on top of being impatient, I can be really controlling. And this came out for me.
For a long time, being indirect, like, and that kind of goes with indecisiveness.
My last thing is inconsistency. So I'm really good at like getting fired up about things and just like, maybe a couple of days going for it or trying to develop a new habit and then just like, it didn't work out.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here again. Usually we get on here, we share a message, and we do appreciate all the likes, comments, and people that share this. So continue to do that. We're truly grateful beyond words. But we wanted to get on here and do something different, right? Technically, it's all about growth. That's kind of the theme. If you haven't noticed, that's kind of what we want to make sure we're bringing about. But today was a little different. We're going to talk, shift it up a little bit. Instead of giving you some words of wisdom, we're actually going to give you a list of things we suck at.
Yeah, there are things we're not good at. We really want to connect with you. So if you find some things that we say that you're like, man, I'm not good at that either, or I'm working at it. Hey, Manny, go ahead and watch till the end because there might be some nuggets that you can take away from too. So we're, like my husband said, we're huge in the growth space. We love to read, and we've got a great coach that we follow. So we'll link him at the bottom so you can find his stuff too. But we're going to share some of our suck at lists, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the right list to say. But okay, so I'll go first.
Or not top 10.
Or not top 10. Our bottom 3. So one of the things that's really hard for me is patience. I am so impatient.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm even impatient right now because I want to get to the end of this video. No, I'm just kidding. But patience is a really, really big one for me. And going from from 1 kid to 2 kids has really pressed that button harder than I thought it would be pressed. All right, what's one of yours?
All right, no, I was ready to keep talking smack about you. But, for me, one of the things is like being indecisive. Like I struggle with that. And even going back, I was just thinking about this like right now, even going back to school, like I never would raise my hand because I wanted to be like, make sure I was like, I had the perfect answer and do all the right things. But you know what? That's never the case, right? So because of that, like little complex, sometimes I'm indecisive in making a decision. Which
really?
Yeah, you wouldn't know, right?
No.
So that's why, like usually there's the joke of like where the girl wants to go eat, and like.
Oh
like,
yeah, you can never figure it out.
Figure out. I'm like that person, but I'm a dude, right?
Yeah.
That's like I don't know, like that's kind of me. I don't decide.
Oh my God, yeah.
And that kind of struggles with her because she's impatient, and sometimes that's not necessarily like
a good match.
Yeah. All right, what do you got next?
All right, here's my next one. So on top of being impatient, I can be really controlling. And this came out for me. Hey, Damien. This came out for me when I was planning our wedding. I was like, oh, snap. Like, I wanted everything to be like a certain way. And it was far away. There wasn't like a lot of internet where we were getting married. It was very secluded. So I had to rely on other people heavily. And that was one of the toughest things, which says a lot about my life that I had to do.
Man, everything's a tough thing, right? But yeah.
So yeah,
definitely.
control it. Like trying to control everything is tough.
Especially me. But
Well, you're indecisive, so it makes sense.
That's like not good though, because then it just enables me, and it doesn't. Like it's not working. It's not working right. My other thing is like for a long time, being indirect, like, and that kind of goes with indecisiveness part. And usually when like if something's like up, I'll actually be a little passive aggressive with her, just little sly comments, even though it's like little things, because you're not being direct. You kind of want to say something, but you're like, I'm gonna sneak it in this way, and
my goodness.
And obviously that drives people the wrong way. Just not being direct, right? And and if you saw, like, I actually maybe a couple of videos ago, that's why it resonated so strongly, and we shared that last video about like language of winners.
Yeah, for sure. Because like saying yes when you mean it, saying no when you don't, and like
doing all those things. So then we want to talk a little bit about what it is.
Oh, I
that-
had one more thing that
Okay,
I'm terrible at.
anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, I mean, I have a long list, but we decided to narrow it down to 3. My last thing is inconsistency. So I'm really good at like getting fired up about things and just like, you know, maybe a couple of days going for it or trying to develop a new habit and then just like, it didn't work out. Or letting my thoughts just like bring me down and saying, that wasn't for me or whatever, which sucks, like to be in that place, like being really excited and then, you know, it flops. So those are my 3: impatient, controlling, and inconsistent. So comment if you resonate with any of those. You know, there's no shame in this game. We're all superhuman, right? So it's normal to go through these things. And we want to share a little bit. Did you do all of yours?
I thought we said 2, but whatever, it's all
Okay.
good.
Well, I second a third.
It's all right. I could find more. Like, it's not, trust me, there's not the only thing I'm not great at. But
So yeah, comment if you resonate with any of those. So again, impatient, controlling, inconsistent. And then my husband's was
indecisive and indirect.
indecisive and indirect.
And partially, like, the reason for us doing this video is because part of, like, this growth process, it starts with identifying these things, right? Luckily, we've been in a place where we've grown a lot, where we could help each other in these, coach each other in these areas, because obviously we're both not in the right place mentally. It's a clash, right? Like, if you're telling somebody, like, if I'm being passive aggressive and she's being controlling, and we're not both in a space where we're allowing each other to grow, man, it's gonna be a dangerous place and a dangerous relationship, you know, and it could be problematic. And trust me, we went through all that. Now we're in a much better
sharing our nuggets.
We're sharing our nuggets. And
Anna, our friend Anna says, I can be all that, girl. I hear you. Man, it's tough. But you know what? The great thing is you don't have to live there, right? I think awareness is huge. It's such a big step with moving towards the place that you want to go and just realizing where you're at. So I'll share with you in these areas, the hardest one for me to really overcome so far has been the impatient one. So if you're impatient like me, I don't have a secret nugget. Honestly, all I really do when I get impatient and I feel that fluster of like, oh, I got to get all this done, and or things aren't moving fast enough, is really just deep breaths. Like, I take deep breaths. Sometimes I say, Lord, help me, so I can get just clarity on what's in front of me and move forward with what I can do, what I can control. And so for impatience, that's really my best tip.
Yeah, and even with me taking the time to understand her, like, areas that she wants to grow at, also helps me understand to handle that with a little bit of grace, right? And that's the other piece, right? Like, if I know that she's coming from, I'll be like, all right, she's like in a place where I can't like take it to heart, because I know it's like she's in her feelings.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what it is, or myself, like vice versa, right? So just understanding that, it gives us each other like a little bit more space to kind of help each other grow and just get better, because that's really the point, right?
Yeah.
The point of all this is to like use each other, an accountability group, and
How do you like work through your indecisiveness?
well, I've been luckily I've been using Use Accountability. We've been using other actually we started even a morning group for accountability, and just like listening to the right things, like making sure that even just start doing some like affirmations and things of that nature, like, hey, being intentional about what it is you're trying to address that day, right? Like, I can't fix things that if I'm not necessarily like looking them straight in the eye. Like, and that's really what I've been listening to, those audios like that Days was just mentioned a minute ago about mentors that we work with, and people, the videos that we've done in the past, is really stuff that, man, has really helped us go to the next level. So
thanks for the love, Martin.
Appreciate it.
The other one, inconsistency, like my husband said, honestly, like telling him this is what I want to do and like verbalizing my goal helps us really to hold each other accountable, and not in a place that's like, hey, you said you were going to do this, where are the results? Not like that at all, but just like, where are we with this? And then, being in a place where you're able to receive the feedback, able to receive that, that like guidance, like you said, we were going to be here, you wanted to be here, and where are we? How are we moving forward? Maybe we're not as far as we want it to be. Well, what could we do to correct that? So accountability, man, it goes such a long way. If you're like humble enough to take it, because I know for a long time I was like, don't tell me what to do, my controlling ass. But it comes to a point where like it doesn't even matter. Like, you just want to get ahead, and like, who better than to the person that you're spending your life with, right? That knows you better. And even with my impatience, he'll be like, okay, I know you want to go through this fast, or I know you want to do this now, but let's look at the steps. Do we have everything we need? And like, he's just like awesome at that. So just like really knowing each other. So yeah, that's what I would say. Like, hold yourselves accountable for the inconsistencies. Again, I have my accountability buddy. If you need an accountability buddy, let us know. We love helping people and like holding them to whatever standard they want to grow through next. And yeah, I don't know. Do you have any other tips?
No, that's it, man. It just like anything, nothing happens by chance. It's everything. It's got to be directed and done right. Like speaking from an indirect person, so it tells you a lot, right? Right. So yeah, just if anything, if any of these things resonate and you feel like, yeah, man, I feel like I'm like that in this area, feel free to reach out. Maybe we could share some resources. I mean, we've been working at it and we're still working at it.
Nothing is perfect.
So we could probably point you in the right direction. We might not have the solution, but we could at least give you some resources to help you kind of work in those areas, because I'm sure you all want to get better too.
Right, for sure. So I'll send a link to the coach that we work with, who's been amazing. We've purchased so many of his products. We truly believe in like his method and just like he's straight to the point. So part of my impatience is that I'm just like, give it to me straight. What is it? Don't give me none of that fluff. So he is just like that. I love this guy. So we'll put that in the resources, just in a link. And then if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, they're probably wondering like, how did y'all end up together? Like, you're indecisive, you're controlling. Like, how did you get
That's why. No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
true, right? Yeah. Chill.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Have a good one.